Welcome back. Did you know that jingle bells were made to warn people along the road of approaching sleighs? Or that most American car makers once built sleighs? And did you know that America's foremost expert on sleighs is just down the road from here?
I did not know that, all right? It's not really just down the road, it's a long road.
A long road.
Wow, it is a long drive to Denver, Missouri. But that's where you have to go to find Bill Engel in his glory.
Yes, yes.
He's got a captive audience today.
And you would take the box off of a traditional farm wagon and put it on here, you see?
They're a church group from Kearney, Missouri, and they're impressed.
These sleighs are fascinating.
If you got mud, you got mud.
Bill not only looks like Santa, he's also into sleighs.
And the third characteristic is how heavy they are. I mean, they are a horse killer.
No one has more than he does.
I've never seen this many in this condition.
Nearly 300.
So you see they're about 3 inches taller.
Engel started collecting 16 years ago when he saw an old sleigh purchased at an auction, then immediately torn apart.
And I said, "What are you doing?" And they said, "All we want is the runners." I says, "What for?" And they says, "We're going to cut them down a little bit and make coffee tables."
He was offended and started buying all he could find, many from Iowa.
So I don't redo the sleighs. I try to stabilize them.
And this is about all they're used for. A history class.
You see that? You put your mother-in-law back here.
This group never got such a lesson.
I grew up in Louisiana. We didn't have much need for a sleigh down there.
We learned there were more than 5,000 sleigh manufacturers in America at the turn of the 20th century.
And the sides here are the bumpers.
The Kratzer Carriage Company of Des Moines made this one. This is a Studebaker. This, a John Deere. This is one part collection, one part shelter.
I've inherited sleighs from people I didn't even know. And they would call and they would say, I'm getting old and I want somebody to have my sleigh.
He gives regular tours and takes regular phone calls from sleigh owners who need advice.
And they tell me they went to Walmart and Walmart said, "Get this good latex and this will take care of it."
Don't paint an old sleigh. Just clean it off and call Bill.
And I'll be glad to help them any way I can.
But now it's Bill who needs some help.
You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
He's 77 and recently lost his wife. He needs a plan.
I have sold some to museums to try to save them. And it's got windmills on it painted.
He'd like to place them all in museums. He won't sell to pickers.
I've repeatedly had people come down and wanted to buy this one and offer me a big check, and I just had to tell them no.
So all he can do is keep sharing his love.
Isn't that interesting?
Maybe he'll connect with the right person, and the next great sleigh collector will make the long drive to Denver.
And Bill says if you have an old sleigh, the single best thing that you can do for it is bring it in from the elements. Then flip it over and write everything that you know about the sleigh on the bottom. That will help preserve some of its history. To request a tour of the Sleigh Museum, Denver Sleigh Works, or to hit him up with questions about preserving an old sleigh you've got, head over to sleighworks.com.
What a great story. Did you have fun going down there and doing that?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. And this is a guy that is not in it for any kind of money. He doesn't make any money off of this. He's spent all his money, as a matter of fact. He owns all of these old downtown buildings in the tiniest town that I have ever been to.
Huh.
I mean, there is...
Yeah, 39 people.
There is not, and he said that's just a gross exaggeration, too. There isn't a single building that's open downtown. It's
Except
all
for
closed.
the sleighs.
Well, and that's not a business or anything,
Yeah.
so it's not. It doesn't even have a. He told us. He said, "Well, you want to use the bathroom, you pull over on the side of the road before you get into town because we don't have any plumbing in any of these buildings."
Okay. Well, Well, Jerry Ann, it's a good time to talk about sleighs because we'd like some snow to maybe go for a sleigh ride.
Yes, I can deliver on that. Doesn't look like we're going to get a ton, but there will be more in other parts of the state that could lead